and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. This is just my second video coming back after many years. I was inspired to think on the topic of the invisible woman by a lady whose channel is called Liz in the Middle. One of her videos, probably maybe one of her first ones, came up over, of course, to the side in my recommended videos just a couple of days ago. She seems like a really nice lady. She's struggling a little bit with with her midlife issues, and so she was talking in one of her videos about feeling invisible, how women feel invisible. And honestly, I've never felt invisible. But I was out for a walk this morning, and here's another channel recommendation. I'll link the specific video. It's called Grunt Proof. Grunt as in an army grunt, meaning the kind of soldier that just does all the kind of work that nobody else. It's got to be done, but not a lot of people are interested in doing it. So he seems like a really good guy, and one of his videos came up along the side. Oh, probably 2 to 3 weeks ago. And basically, after watching it, I really felt like I had no excuse to not get out and go for a walk every day, regardless of the weather. He's doing his video and he's walking, and I don't even remember where he was. Northern Michigan, Minnesota, somewhere cold, and it was snowing, and he's out walking and doing a video in the snow. And just talking about people and how they make excuses for not doing things. And it's like, I realize it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter how cold it is. There's people out there doing work. And anyway, so been walking since watching that video. And so I was on my walk this morning, and I couldn't help but notice something. And that something was not being invisible. And I think because of doing something specific in that regards. But so many years ago, back in the late 90s, I was in my late 40s. And as homeschoolers, I got my daughter into some classes at a big mega Baptist church in downtown Fort Worth. They had an arts program where they had theater and ballet. And well, I take that back. Maybe they didn't have theater. They had ballet, they had art. And as an artist, I thought, okay, well, I can stand by and be a helper in an art class, which I was, while she was doing ballet and a couple of other things. Because since we would drive into downtown Fort Worth, we would just make a full morning of it. And so one of these days after school, after this art program, we had lunch. We usually brought brown bag lunch, but this time there was a little diner there that I'd seen. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go. We'll go there for lunch one day. And so this one day we were there. We would sit at the counter. We did sit at the counter, which is always fun. And what I thought, I called in my mind an old man came and sat next to me on my side. And so my daughter Sasha was on one side of me. The other side was empty until this old man came and sat down and started talking to me like we'd known each other for years. And I don't even remember what the conversation was about, but I do remember he treated me as if he and I were contemporaries. That was the feeling I got, that he didn't realize that he was twice my age, and that I thought it was a little weird. But over the years, as the years and decades have passed, I realized that, and I have made some notes here, I realize that now, as after these decades pass, we forget what we look like when we're out and about just talking to people. if we talk to somebody that's very young, like this old man did with me, I was not very young, but I look pretty young for my age at 40. Um, we think we're that same age. Now, I don't think when we walk up to a baby in a baby carriage, we think we're babies, but I'm just talking about just contemporary age as adults to adult to adult. We expect to be seen and treated like our younger or much younger woman that we feel inside. I don't, I'm over 70 and I still feel like I did when I was 30 or 40. I don't feel that I'm old inside. I still have the same here's my cat, she's starving. Still have many of the same interests, hobbies, favorite movies for years and years, types of movies. I'm not really into sports, but you'll understand what I'm saying. I don't, it seems like yesterday graduating from college or whatever. Um, but it wasn't. It was decades ago. And so that's what happens with a lot of us. And we forget that what we feel inside is different than what we look like outside. And I'm sure I was polite to this old man, but I wasn't as friendly as he was being as what he probably expected me to be. So naturally, he probably walked away a little bit disappointed. Um, so I feel like I skipped a page here. But then again, it says disappointment. But look in a mirror. Disappointment, there's another whole level of it. But consider this. What do you prefer to look at? A beautiful landscape or a portion of the world that's been devastated by a natural disaster or a war? I think most of us would say we prefer to look at a beautiful landscape. And it's the same when we look at people. It's kind of why Hollywood used to cast very beautiful people in the leads of their movies. The stars would be beautiful. It's not to say that there weren't not I can't say accessory people, co-stars, side characters that would be quirky or maybe even unattractive. Because if you've got if everybody in a cast is beautiful, then who's the star? Nobody shines really because everybody's about equal. But if you have characters that by comparison are a little bit less shiny or whatever, then your star is really gonna shine in the movie. So they don't so much do that. I said here that the leads are cast, they're people that are easy on the eyes, whether they're men or women. um, but in the end, having the quirky character or the unattractive character be the best friend of the star makes the star even more glamorous. So I was on my grunt proof walk this morning, and every time I would see someone, and I didn't like it as much as normally during the week because there's so many. It's Saturday, so there's so many people out and about. It was almost too much traffic on the footpath. You're always having to look out, bikes coming up from behind, motorized scooters. I was like, oh. Anyway, don't stretch your arms as you're walking. You might, knock a bite into a bicyclist or something. But at first I thought, oh my goodness, I'm saying good morning so many times. What if I use them all up? As if there was a quota. But I didn't. Of course, I didn't use them all up. But smiling and saying good morning I said it to like 99.9% of the people. You can always tell there's somebody that's, somebody that's on their phone or something. They're not going to be, you don't say good morning to them. So there's the exceptions like that, or somebody with your big old earbuds hanging out, they're not going to hear you. So you don't bother. But of all the people, let's say 99%, I didn't see 100, I didn't come upon 100 people, let's say maybe 50. And of all of those 50 people or couples, I would say there was only 2 or 3 whom I would say good morning to and smile at, and they would just not even respond. So, they're into their own thoughts, their own music. Maybe I don't see where the music is coming from. I don't know. Or just they're into their own rhythm of walking or running or whatever it is, or they're just maybe not in the kind of a mood where they want to say good morning to everybody or anybody or me. So I guess you could, if you wanted to, you could go away from that experience and feel invisible. I didn't. I just felt okay. There's times when I put the sunglasses on, the hat on, whatever. I'm just ignoring everybody, which may be very well, may be why I prefer when fewer people are out. um, but anyway, but that's my theory on invisibility. It's we forget that we don't look on the outside like we feel on the inside. And so we're not going to get the response from certain other people that we might feel like we ought to or like we used to in the past. And there's no getting around it. Like with the beautiful landscape, the devastated landscape, there's no getting around it. It's much more enjoyable to pay attention to something beautiful in the world than something not beautiful. And, that's that's a fact. That's a reality. Uh, I mean, listening to beautiful music versus traffic noise in a city, uh, or a car crash or something like that. There's a difference, and the difference is clear. And anyway, it goes with people too. It goes for us, as much as maybe we don't want to have it be that way. That's the way it is. So anyway, on that note, I hope you'll start walking if you've kind of been putting it off because it's cold this winter or whatever. Because it's a really good thing, and it will make you feel better in the end. And I'm hoping it'll be good for me if I can keep it up every day. Just instead of not walking, just go for a very short walk, get some fresh air, get a different perspective. So thanks for listening. See you next time.